Hi guys, I'm Syrachime, and I welcome you to my new Let's Play of The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. This game is my absolute favorite Legend of Zelda game of all times and is arguably the best game ever created in the franchise. While the game itself is well over a decade old, it is a game that has stood the test of time and remains as legendary today as it was when it was created. With an incredible storyline and a sense of adventure that just lures you in, there is hardly a more memorable game than this one, and it's for this very reason I will be doing a Let's Play of it now. In this Let's Play of mine, you are going to see what has made the Ocarina of Time a classic, and in my opinion, made Link the infamous hero we know him as today. And as I do this Let's Play, you are more than welcome to play along with me regardless of whether you play the Nintendo 64 or the 3DS version. But if you'd rather be a spectator than a player, that's perfectly fine. Your experience will still be an enjoyable one. Regardless, rather than sit here and tell you about the game myself, let's actually allow this amazing game to speak for itself. It's time to get started with my Let's Play of The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. In the vast, deep forest of Hyrule. Long have I served as the guardian spirit. I am known as the Deku Tree. The children of the forest, the Kokiri, live here with me. Each Kokiri has his or her own guardian fairy. However, there is one boy who does not have a fairy. Navi, Navi, where art thou? Come hither. Oh, Navi the fairy, listen to my words, the words of the Deku Tree. Oh my gosh, it's a talking tree! Dost thou sense it? The climate of evil descending upon this realm. Malevolent forces, even now, are mustering to attack our land of Hyrule. For so long, the Kokiri Forest, the source of life, has stood as a barrier, deterring outsiders and maintaining the order of the world. But, before this tremendous evil power, even my power is as nothing. It seems the time has come for the boy without a fairy to begin his journey. The youth whose destiny it is to lead Hyrule to the path of justice and truth. Navi, go now, find our young friend and guide him to me. I do not have much time left. Fly, Navi, fly. The fate of the forest, nay, the world, depends upon thee. And with that, we officially get to see through the eyes of a fairy, and what a lovely view it is. Apparently, as a fairy, we are so fast and maneuverable we can do anything, including fly between people's legs? Okay. Well, anyway, apparently we are looking for a boy without a fairy, but it looks like the entire population of this forest has fairies. Where on earth are we going to find a boy without a fairy here? He could be anywhere. Well, for all we know, he could be in that house over there. Well, Navi seems to think so, so off we go to... How on earth can you not make it through the fence? You can navigate between people's legs, but you can't make it through a hole in the fence? Oh, well, it's not really that big of a deal, because once we enter this house, we are Navi no more. And instead, we come to see the resident of this house, which happens to be a sleeping child. But a child without a fairy, no less. Could this be who we're looking for? Hello, Link! Wake up! The great Deku Tree wants to talk to you. Link, get up! So apparently this is the child we are looking for, but This is the youth whose destiny it is to lead Hyrule to the path of justice and truth? Don't know how I feel about this. Hey, come on! Can Hyrule's destiny really depend on such a lazy boy? Navi, I was just thinking the same thing. If this is the hero of Hyrule, I feel sorry for Hyrule already. Well, apparently, while Link is the heaviest sleeper on the planet, not even he can sleep through the aggravation that is Navi, and after a while, he must give in to the tormenting. Once he wakes up, we'll finally get a decent look at our hero here, and in addition, he can get a decent look at his tormentor. You finally woke up! I'm Navi, the fairy. The Great Deku Tree asked me to be your partner from now on. Nice to meet you. The Great Deku Tree has summoned you, so let's get going, right now. This is one annoying trait of many that Navi has within her. She is, if you could not tell, incredibly bossy. But like I said, she has many other annoying traits about her that I'm sure we will see throughout the Let's Play. Oh, well, you can't hold it against her because we got a nagging, aggravating fairy that is very bossy and a lazy child. This is the start of a beautiful relationship. Well, anyway, now that we get away from these cutscenes, we finally get control of Link for the first time ever. Now, once you gain control of Link, there really isn't a great deal you could do with him right now. I mean, you could use the analog stick in the middle of your controller to move him around in circles, but that's really about it. Outside of that, you could press the A button when he's running to do this roll, but literally that is all he can do. Now, as we get further in our adventure, he will be able to do several other different things, but like I said, we'll have to get further into our adventure to do that. Anyway, since we've got that pretty much all covered over, and there's not much else we could really do aside from run around circles, why don't we go ahead and use this feature of being able to run around and leave our house? It's not like anyone's ever accomplished anything simply running around in circles. At least I haven't, so out we go, to see the world from beyond our front door. And as we get out here, apparently we see that we are in the Kokiri Forest, and along with that, it looks like we have a resident coming to visit us, and a rather pretty resident at that. I give you Link's good friend, Saria. Yahoo! Hi, Link! Well, Saria was gracious enough to come all this way to visit us. We might as well go talk to her. Yes, we are totally doing that, not just because I think she's pretty, and I just realized that Link is one of the few people in this entire forest who lives up in the trees, rather than down near its roots. I wonder why he's living up in the trees. Oh, well, anyway, not pondering questions to things that probably don't make sense, down we go to talk to our pretty friend. What do you have to say, Saria? You came all this way to visit us. What important thing do you have to say? Wow, a fairy! Finally, a fairy came to you, Link. Wow, that's great news. I'm so happy for you. So apparently receiving a fairy in the Kokiri Forest is a very big deal. Apparently by getting a fairy, you get your own fiesta. Or at least a heartfelt congratulations. Now you're a true Kokiri, Link. Haha, they said it couldn't be done, but I am a true Kokirian now. Don't really know what that entails, but I am a true Kokiri, so we'll see where it goes, I suppose. Is that right? The Great Deku Tree has summoned you? Okay, this is something you're going to have to get used to in Legend of Zelda games. In the Legend of Zelda universe, Link does not talk. Yet somehow, despite the fact that he does not talk, sometimes when you talk to people, they will change topics on a whim as if you had said something. Now, I'm not sure whether Link says something between the lines and we don't hear it, or if maybe the whole population is a bunch of mind readers. Yeah, let's go with that. Everybody in the Legend of Zelda universe has the ability to read minds except Link, and they could read his mind and know what's going on as a result. Oh, well, anyway, apparently since she's read my mind, what else do you have to say to me about this? It's quite an honor to talk to the Great Deku Tree. I'll wait for you here. Get going. Go see the Great Deku Tree. You're just as bossy as Navi is. Well, apparently talking to this Great Deku Tree is of the utmost importance, so we might as well go do that. I don't know, if somebody told me to go talk to a tree, I would run the other way and report them to the Psycho Ward, but as those probably do not exist in this day and age, or at least in these games, let's just be the gullible, naive child that we are and go talk to the Great Deku Tree. Now, as we're making our way back there, I guess I can bring your attention to something very quickly, and that is, you might notice in the upper right-hand corner, there's this little flashing yellow button that says Navi on it. And prior to that, you might have actually heard someone shout, "Hey!" Well, what that is actually Navi wanting to talk to you. Now, if at some point during your adventure you hear that or see that in your own game, you can talk to Navi by simply pressing the up C button, and you will be able to talk to her accordingly. So we're going to go ahead and talk to her right now. She must have something very important to tell us for interrupting our adventure. The Great Deku Tree has summoned you. Please, come with me. My gosh, Navi, can you be any more bossy? Well, anyway, since the Great Deku Tree is so important, we're going to go ahead and talk to him. Now, to talk to the Great Deku Tree, you're actually going to have to go deeper into the forest. Yeah, you have to go deeper into the forest to talk to a giant tree. Whoever saw that coming. Now, to get back there, you want to make your way back here, and then you need to navigate around this child who's apparently mastered the art of sidestepping. Why don't you get out of my way, dude? I have been summoned to talk to the Great Deku Tree. What is your problem? Hey, you, Mr. No Fairy. What's your business with the Great Deku Tree? Mr. No Fairy? I have the nickname Mr. No Fairy? No wonder Link sleeps up in the trees. Without a fairy, you're not even a real man. Okay, in what universe is your manlyhood determined by balls of light that float around your head? Isn't it usually determined by... Okay, I just realized I could have gone in a very inappropriate direction. We're just going to drop that now, but still, something else I can argue about this. In the beginning, the Great Deku Tree said, the children of the forest. You're not even a real man. What gives you the right to classify me as being a man, whether I have a fairy or not? What? You've got a fairy? You seriously did not notice the ball of light floating around my head? This guy needs glasses. Say what? The Great Deku Tree actually summoned you? What? Why would he summon you and not the Great Mido? With a name like that, I wouldn't summon you either, dork. This isn't funny. Sure it is. Your name is hilarious. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but Mido sounds like Fido. I don't believe it. You aren't even fully equipped yet. How do you think you're going to help the Great Deku Tree without both a sword and a shield ready? Well, if I was a piece of wood, I would not want a sharp object near me, but that's just me. As far as the shield goes, really don't know. What? You're right. I don't have my equipment ready, but... Okay, so apparently that might have been one of the few times where Link actually talks in this game. Either that or it was Navi, or who knows. Well, anyway, they were saying, if you want to pass through here, you should at least equip a sword and a shield. Sheesh. Well, apparently we have been denied access to the Great Deku Tree because we do not have a utensil that would threaten wood, and a shield, which I'm not really sure how that would help anybody. Oh, well, anyway, the way the game actually works is you can't actually talk to the Great Deku Tree unless, surprise, surprise, you have a sword and a shield. So we're going to have to go collect those things accordingly. Now, I think I'll go ahead and tackle the sword first since it's the easiest to get. We got a little bit to actually get our shield. Where you want to go to actually pick up your swords, you want to head back towards a place called the Forest Training Center. Now, to get back there, you're going to want to head in the opposite direction we were heading for the Great Deku Tree, as if you're actually leaving the forest. But then you gotta, when you get to this point here where you see this girl, you want to make a left here, and you will make it up to this point where the Forest Training Center is just beyond this maze of fences here. Not really a maze, but still you get my point. Now, once you make your way back here, the Forest Training Center will be just on the other side of this. But before I actually head over there, I'd like to bring your attention to something very quickly. Now, if you're playing along with me, you will notice the A button several times might have had things that you could have done accordingly as far as actions and icons and stuff like that. If you get near something you could perform an action with, such as checking a sign, you can press the A button accordingly to do that. Alternatively, if you get near people and press the A button, you can speak to them. More or less, the A button is your action thing, and you will be using that to perform various actions accordingly. So we're going to go ahead and use our newfound abilities to take action by entering a hole, something that Link can only do as a child. Not really sure how that works, but there you go. So once we make it back here, we are officially in the maze where we have to go to get our sword. But unfortunately, this maze is, well, it's not really that bad. I don't really tend to get... You stupid rock! Ugh. I was about to say, I have a hard time getting through this maze because I always seem to take 2 or 3 hits from this stupid rock before anything else happens. So where you want to go for this is just literally... You stupid rock! Oh, you jerk! Come back to my face and do that again. I bet you wouldn't do it again, you jerk. Oh my gosh! Run, 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 run! Flee, cower, run! Oh my gosh. Outsmarted by a rock. Well, anyway, now I'm getting my... Ay-ya! You stupid rock! Never mind, leave the rock alone. Okay, well where we are right now in this little cove is where you need to be. Away from the rock, just navigate around the maze, avoid the rock, and you can get back here. Now, you'll know you're where you need to be because there will be this treasure chest right here. Now, in the Legend of Zelda universe, treasure chests are key. The bigger the chest, the more important the item. Now, you will know the item is very important because when you open it, you will get this jingle. Obviously, it is a very important item, so once Link jumps in because he's too short to go otherwise, what did we get? Look what I got! We got the Kokiri sword! More like the Kokiri dagger by comparison on our side, but there you go. This is the hidden treasure of the Kokiri, but you can borrow it for a while. Oh, I'm sorry. That's just funny. They say you can borrow it for a while. What's funny about that is, in this game, we're never giving this thing back. We keep this thing throughout our entire adventure, and spoiler alert, there's actually another game that comes up after this one where Link takes it with him to a distant land. And we're not even sure if he ever made it back to Hyrule or not after that, but yeah, this sword is never making it back to this chest. We'll go ahead and use the excuse that we could borrow it for a while just so we could take it with us. Be sure to practice with it before you really fight. Alright, so there we have just picked up our sword for our adventure, but you might notice that we don't really have the sword on us. And the reason that is because, well, we actually don't have it equipped on us. We have to equip it accordingly. So to equip it, you're going to want to press the start button, and that will take you to the start menu where you will see several different screens that have to do with your adventure. So pressing start to see those screens. You press the start button, you will be taken first of all to the Link's equipment screen where you will be able to equip things for Link accordingly. Things such as your swords, your tunics, your boots, and while we don't have it, there is also a shield selection. And you can equip these various things to Link accordingly by simply going to what you want to do, or what you want to equip, and equipping them accordingly. Now outside of that, this screen really doesn't serve much purpose. It's just literally Link's changing thing where he changes swords, shields, tunics, boots, and that's really about it. You go to the next screen though, this is your C selection screen. It's over here that you will be able to select things that will go to your C buttons accordingly, your left, right, and down C buttons, and you can use those weapons accordingly. Now, we don't have anything right now because we've just started our adventure, but yeah, this is where you'll go for your C buttons if you want to do that. Go to the next one, you have your map. Now you can see where you are currently by the blue rectangular box that is circling your current location. It says the current position, Kokiri Forest. That's where we are right now, and the little blinking dot you see there is where we have to go on the map. Now, most of the map is actually blotted out right now because, well, as a child who probably never left the forest, I really wouldn't expect you to know what the world looks like. But as we actually get going further in the game, this will slowly reveal itself over time. And finally, we come over to the quest status screen where we will be able to see all the various things about our quest accordingly. We'll be able to see all the songs that we get, in addition to all the heart pieces we have, the medallions that we pick up in our game, the spiritual stones, and other stuff like that. So that's more or less what all this is right here. Now there is one more thing that I'd like to bring attention to, and that is if at some point during your game you want to actually save all your progress, you just simply click the B button. It will ask you if you'd like to save, and from here you can simply click yes if you want to, or no if you don't. Now I'm not going to be saving on screen because, well, I have a bad tendency to not do well during first or second recordings, and usually have to record an episode over several times. So yeah, I'm not going to be saving on screen. Feel free to if you want to, but I'm not going to be saving on screen, and I will be once I'm off screen and the recording's good, but just in case something goes wrong with the recording, I'm not going to be saving. So yeah, there's that. With that, we can officially see that we have got the Kokiri sword on our back, and actually more like the Kokiri dagger, and you can see exactly what I mean. This thing is not big at all. This thing is useless. Well, to use your Kokiri sword / dagger, you simply press the B button. You'll be able to use it accordingly. By standing still or moving forward, you can change the different slashes that you can do from vertical to horizontal. Now, the big one you want to actually make note of is the swordsman. That's going to be your most widely used move throughout this game. To simply perform it, you simply press the B button, hold it, and then you just let the B button go to do the spin accordingly. Now, an alternative to that is you could spin your analog stick around very quickly and press the B button, and that will give you the same result. Now, either one of those ways works. Feel free to do those accordingly, but yeah, I just kind of wanted to bring your attention to that. Alright, so now that we've got our sword, it's time to go ahead and get to work on getting our shield. And to do that, we're going to get... Oh my gosh, money! Must get... Well, I was about to say, over here is the... Yeah, over here is the currency of Hyrule. This little diamond we have here, the splendid blue diamond, is actually the currency of Hyrule. And it is called the rupee. Depending on what color you pick up will determine what kind of rupee that you get. The blue one is actually worth 5 different rupees, green ones are worth 1, and red rupees are worth 20. So yeah, I can get those accordingly. You can slice grass to get several different things. Haha, outsmarted the rock. Who said it couldn't be done? Well, I did it. Haha. Okay, anyway. Back here, I know for a fact there's another rupee, so that puts us up to 12, and there's 13, and... Can I outsmart the rock again? Oh my god. Yeah! You stupid rock! What? What? You... Alright, we're just gonna go... Oh. I don't even know what I was talking about. Something about root beer, right? Who knows. Well, anyway, we need to pick up rupees for our shield, because as it turns out, our shield is actually going to be in a store. Outsmarted by a rock. First enemy in the game, and I couldn't outsmart a rock. That's a bad sign for this Let's Play if I can't even navigate around a rock. Well, anyway, what you want to do for the shop, it's actually going to be a place with a red roof. And to actually buy our shield, it's going to cost us a maximum of 40 rupees, so we're going to have to acquire that accordingly. Alright, so we got to get 40 rupees for our shield. You can do so by just running around in grass. That's a decent way to do it. Alternatively, you can cut grass if you want to. Or throw rocks, various things like that. Anyway, whoa, dude, what are you doing? That meanie Mido made me cut the grass at Saria's house. Mido told Saria he would do it so she would like him, but I'm the one doing all the work. Okay, I know that Mido's kind of a jerk, but that's actually quite brilliant. I should try that. Okay, I really wouldn't do that, but that's a smart idea. So you'll do something for somebody and then have somebody else do it. You take all the credit for it. No, I do not condone that. Anyway, you were saying. You and Saria are close friends, so will you help me cut the grass? Okay. For those of you that have seen my previous Let's Plays, you know how I feel about nature. But if you don't know, just let me spell it out for you. I hate nature. Everything in nature is evil and must just stay away from me. And the only thing I hate more than nature is cutting the grass and raking the leaves, which is more or less cleaning up after nature. One reason of many why I hate it. So while I hate cutting the grass, why on earth would I help you cut the grass, you jerk? I'll let you keep anything that you find while cutting it. Well, that's good enough for me. Hidden treasures are totally worth cutting the grass for. Here we picked up 3 recovery hearts and a rupee. So far I'm not... Wow, I've only got 1 rupee for doing all that. Well, that was a waste. Well, anyway, apparently we're not going to do anything here, so we're going to go look around for some more money. I know you can get 5 rupees over here by playing hopscotch at just the right places, but I'm not sure where you have to go for it. I swore it was somewhere around here. Oh well, anyway, moving on. Move around, and I could have sworn. Well, it'll be the first time I was mistaken about something. Over here, there's a couple of rupees right there. It puts us up to 18. What you got to say, young lady? Maybe you might have something interesting for us. Oh, you have a fairy now? That's great, Link. Apparently me having a fairy is getting around all over the forest. Or maybe they're not blind like Mido is. What? You've been called by the Great Deku Tree? More instances of mind reading in The Legend of Zelda. What an honor! He may give you a special gift, teehee. That's because the Great Deku Tree is our father, the forest guardian, and he gave life to all of us Kokiri. Why on earth would a tree want a bunch of kids around? I can think of one reason why somebody would want a bunch of kids around, but okay, we're not going to go there. Anyway, here... Whoa! Dude, what are you doing? A by the stone, pick it up. A by the stone, pick... Hey, it sounds like a rap song. A by the stone, pick it up. A by the stone, pick it up. I am not a rap star. I don't even know why I try. Mean old Mido. He made me pick up the rocks in front of his house. Why on earth are you people taking orders from this guy? He's a 10-year-old kid who's just a jerk. He's nothing to be afraid of. I mean, the only thing in this forest that there is to be afraid of is a little dagger I have on my back, and I'm not even that threatening. I'm some lazy child. Why are you taking orders from Mido and... Wait, rocks and... Oh my gosh, this is Mido's house? Oh, we could totally get back at the jerk. Okay, we're going in his house, and we are totally going to destroy his property. Alright, we are in his house. We are going to destroy his property for denying us access to the Great Deku Tree, but apparently the laws of the Legend of Zelda prevent us from doing that. Well, isn't that just convenient? Well, the way this works is you actually cannot use your sword indoors. I'm not sure why that is. My theory is they passed a law, no weapons indoors, or at least in specified places. However, while you cannot destroy people's properties with your sword indoors, there is something else jerkish you can do with it. You can actually steal people's property. Don't believe me? Well, obviously these 4 treasure chests here are incredibly important, so let's open them and take the contents from within. So we open this chest here, and we receive a blue rupee, which is worth 5 rupees. Awesome. We're up to 23 now. Go to this chest, and what we get here? We receive another blue rupee, worth 5. Awesome. We're up to 28 now. What we got in this chest? Green rupee, which is worth 1. I guess that's not that bad. Could be better. Alright, what we got in this chest here? Another green rupee? A recovery heart? What on earth is that doing in here? I know you... Why on earth would you be looking for love in a chest and everything? Okay, we're just going to get away from that before we get on something that's probably not very appropriate. Well, anyway, there's not much out here that we can actually do aside from stealing his property, but since we have done that, we are going to take our money and leave. Haha, to get our shield with it. Oh, that's going to be so ironic. Won't let us back because we need a sword and a shield, and we will get the shield with his money. Well, anyway, we're going to get out of here before we get in trouble. Last thing I need is to get caught in his house and him know that I'm the perpetrator who stole his stuff. Alright, so we break a couple of rocks here. I know that you can get a couple of rupees from these rocks. Yeah, there's one that puts us up to 32. Go on the grass. I guess I can say the rupees will respawn wherever you've been if you want to go back and get them accordingly. I could have sworn. There's one. I told you you can get them in these shops, but nobody believed me. Ha! Proved y'all wrong. Well, there is one more place you can go to get rupees, and it's actually kind of something kind of funny at the same time, so I'll go ahead and show this. If you go in here, there's something else in the Legend of Zelda game that is legal, but probably shouldn't be. Here you can see this resident is clearly watching us, and you can see this pottery here. I'll pick this up. You can tell that this pottery has been, well, very well taken care of, very well designed. Well, there is something about this that should be illegal, but is not. If you throw this thing and break it, we have just destroyed property, and we have taken 5 rupees as a result. Now, you try doing that to somebody else's house, and good luck with them not calling the police. However, if you do it here, she says, "My sister took some rupees and went shopping at the store. That has the red roof. Teehee." Speaking of rupees, a green one is worth 1, a blue one is worth 5, and a red one is worth 20. Hehe. So not only does she not care about the fact that we have destroyed her property and stolen it, she has given us advice on how to actually use that stuff accordingly. Do not get it, does not make sense, but there you go. Oh well, anyway, with that we have just got the 40 rupees that we need for the shield, so off we go to finally get our shield. Been a long time coming, we finally about time we can get this thing. Now the shield actually happens to be over here, the shop will be over here, yes, that's the building with the red roof. Make it over there and, whoa! Hi, Link! Look this way! Look over here with Z and talk to me with A. Okay, so apparently there's something with that about the Z button. That's your targeting button. We'll talk more about that in a minute. Anyway, target and speak, she says. Yes, yes, that's how you use a fairy. It's so great that you finally have a fairy partner. I'll teach you how to talk to the people using your fairy. When a fairy flies near a person or thing, press Z to look in that direction. If you use Z targeting, you can talk to people from a distance, like we're doing now. When you have nothing that you can target, you can press Z just to look forward. Try it. Okay, so there's some information about your Z targeting, which will be probably the most important thing in this game, aside from hack and slashing. If you get near something that you can target, you will see Navi fly in a direction and change a different color. If that is the case, you can press the Z button to target it, and you will be able to target it accordingly. Alternatively, if there's nothing you can target, like she said, you want to get the camera behind you, don't want to look at Link's ugly mug, just simply press the Z button, and you are behind Link again, no harm, no foul. Anyway, that's how you use the Z button, so in we go to the shop to get our shield. No more distractions. Alright, we make it in here, and we see apparently a shopkeeper who is too short that he has to hop up and down to see us. Either that or he's probably doing something else that's probably not appropriate. Anyway, talking to this hopping guy here. Welcome! Now to look around the shop, just use your analog stick to look around at the various things. There's nothing really you could buy, and quite frankly, why would you want to? These things are expensive. I mean, you got 60 arrows here, or 30 arrows for 60 rupees. That's insane. It took us forever to get this 40. Well, anyway, our shield is right here, and if you look at this thing, it's nothing more than a piece of wood. I mean, quite frankly, we could have made this thing ourselves. But, as you know, we're in a hurry. We need to talk to the Great Deku Tree, and this thing's already made. We're going to go ahead and buy it accordingly. So here we buy this thing, and we officially receive the Deku Shield, which we can switch it to in the, say, equipment screen that had the sword and stuff like that. Press the R to crouch and defend. If you press R while Z targeting, you can move while defending. So there's some helpful stuff about that. We'll cover that more in a little bit, but first, would you like to buy something else? Sure, I'd love to buy something else. Are you crazy? I have no more money to spend here. Even if I did, I wouldn't spend it at your shop, you jerk. I wonder how on earth these people actually have their own economy. They're just 10-year-old kids. Huh, lemonade stands to the extreme. Well, anyway, to equip your shield, you just want to go to the Start menu again. When you make it over here, you go to Link's equipment screen, and your shield will be right here. To equip it, same thing with the sword, just click the A button, and you are good to go. Now with the shield officially equipped, there isn't much you can do with it outside of battle. I mean, if you press the R button, you can crouch and defend yourself from various attacks. Alternatively, if you target something and press the R button, you will be able to defend standing up and move around accordingly. So yeah, that's some helpful information. Not really helpful right now, but will be a little bit later on. So anyway, we have just received our sword and shield. Let's get out of here with this guy who's doing something behind the counter and go see the Great Deku Tree. Alright, finally have my sword, finally have my shield. We are ready to progress on with our adventure. Let me through, Mido. I have got my sword and shield, and you are again Why are you denying me entrance, you jerk? If you want to see the Great Deku Tree, you should at least equip a sword and a shield. Dude, are you blind? Can you seriously not see the sword and shield on my back? What's that? Oh, are you finally taking notice of something? Maybe he's just so dumb that it takes a while for things to find his brain. I just picture the information traveling up the system. Oh, where's this brain at? Well, anyway. Oh, you have a Deku shield. More like a piece of bark, but okay. And what's that? Is that the Kokiri sword? More like the Kokiri dagger, but again, okay. Good grief. Good grief, what are you, the Charlie Brown of the Kokiri Forest? Well, even with all that stuff, a wimp is still a wimp, huh? I was just thinking the same thing. About you. I, the great Mido, will never accept you as one of us. Yes, you've ruined my day. I really want the approval of some snotty 10-year-old kid on the other side of the playground. Shoot, how did you get to be the favorite of Saria and the Great Deku Tree, huh? Grumble, grumble. I'm gonna start calling this guy Mr. Grump. What jerk? Maybe if you weren't such a jerk, you would be the favorite too. Oh, well, anyway, we've just finally got this side danger to the side, so long, jerk. We are off to see the Great Deku Tree. But before we do that, we are about to actually come into contact with our first enemy, which happens to be the Deku Babas. We can target these things and give you information about them. There we go. Deku Baba, though it looks withered, it will hurt you if you touch it. What did you think was going to happen if you touched these things? That it would make you feel good? What is with me getting on inappropriate? Never mind, getting away from that. Alright, so here we have our first enemy, the Deku Babas. They don't do anything aside from spin around to take care of them. Just slice them with your sword. Yes, cutting grass. Things I hate to do. But here we have an item, and if we pick it up, look what I got! We've got a Deku Stick. Even though our shield is capable of blocking many attacks, the Deku Stick, which you think would be an awesome offensive weapon, has no purpose in this game aside from transferring fire. I'm not kidding. That's literally the only purpose of the Deku Stick in this entire game. If you try to attack with it, it breaks on you. Anyway, you can set it to the C buttons, which we've looked at those screens, but we'll do so a little bit more in depth later. And you press C to swing it again accordingly. When you want to put it away, stand still and press A. You can also do that with your sword, and you can put your sword away as well. Carry up to 10 of these sticks, so don't waste them. Even though you do get them back relatively easy. And to just get more sticks, just literally slice them. The enemies will respawn after a while, so if you run out of sticks, just wait around and you'll be able to get them again. Alright, so with that, we've got 3 sticks. We've taken care of a couple of enemies. I think we've wasted more than enough time, so off we go to talk to the Great Deku Tree. Finally. Great Deku Tree, I'm back. O Navi, thou hast returned. Link, welcome. Listen carefully to what I, the Deku Tree, am about to tell thee. Thy slumber these past moons must have been restless and full of nightmares. As the servants of evil gain strength, a vile climate pervades the land and causes nightmares to those sensitive to it. Verily thou hast felt it. Verily thou hast felt it. Why on earth is he the only character in this game that talks in the Middle Ages? I know this thing is set in that time period, but still, he's the only character in this entire game that does this. Link, the time has come to test thy courage. I have been cursed. I need you to break the curse with your wisdom and courage. Dost thou have courage enough to undertake this task? Okay, let me give you some perspective on the situation right now. We have this giant talking tree that is the guardian spirit of the forest, asking a 10-year-old kid with a little dagger sword and a piece of wood shield to go inside of him and break a curse. Anybody in their right mind would think this is a bad idea and run the other way and say, no way, Jose. But apparently because we are a 10-year-old kid and we think we are invincible, can do anything, we are going to say yes. Then enter, brave Link, and thou too, Navi. Navi the fairy, thou must aid Link. And Link, when Navi speaks, use the up C button to listen well to her words of wisdom, or words of bossiness, take your pick. Alright, so with that, we have officially got our first quest in the game. We are to go inside of the Great Deku Tree and break the curse that is within him. And while I would love to do that in this episode, I regret to inform you that we will not. Yep, I'd absolutely love to do this though, but things are kind of starting to get a little bit long here, and I think we've actually done more than enough for this particular episode. So we're going to go ahead and cut things off here. And in the next episode, we'll actually go in here and take on the Great Deku Tree's curse and hopefully try to lift it then. So yeah, I apologize that these videos are a little bit long, especially these early ones. These episodes have a lot of cutscenes in them, or at least this game does, so anything that has a cutscene, the episode will probably typically be a little bit longer, and I apologize for that. But anyway, that'll just about do it for this episode. Next time, we will go inside of the Great Deku Tree and hopefully break the curse from within, and then proceed with things accordingly from there. And, until that time, I will catch you guys later.